Today on EA Sports. It's week 4 of the NFL on EA Sports. The Seattle Seahawks.
We are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Seattle Seahawks and the Houston Oilers. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you take a look at our home side as we enter play here. They come in losers of 2 straight, so they're trying to right the ship here a little bit.
They're teetering a little bit, aren't they? And now things could really go south if they lose this game, so they understand the importance of playing well and stopping this streak.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Seahawks, they too were losers last week, so they're also hoping to get back in the win column.
Something's got to give in this one, right? Both teams want to start a new streak, and they both want it to be a victory. This should be a fun one.
So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. And out will come the leader of this offense, and that, of course, is their signal caller.
And what I loved about meeting with him before the game was talking to a guy who takes ownership of his performance. 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions last week, but all he focused on was the loss, okay? And he did say, if I change my stats a little bit, not necessarily for me to look better, but that'll help my team.
And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. They'll run here with Edwards-Helaire. And again, the run defense stout this time. He maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage, but no more.
At the line of scrimmage.
And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete. Certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
A very nice punt that time, but they get 11 back on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And a look here at their go-to guy under center.
There's a lot of good to watch in the game last week, wasn't there? I mean, he did throw 2 touchdown passes. That was impressive. And he's so close, isn't he? The 3 interceptions killed him and his team. That was costly. But if he just cleans that up a little bit, there's a reason for optimism with this team and this passer.
So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple, and it's 2nd down.
At the 39-yard line.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And he whips that one incomplete there.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 45. And his crew will take over at their 5-yard line. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
They got 29 yards that time. So the defense blitzed. A nice job picking that up, completing the pass.
And how in sync was the quarterback and his center on that play? They saw the blitz, made the appropriate calls, got the line engaged because now they know there are going to be extra guys coming at the quarterback, so they got their assignments down pat and kept them away from him, and he's able to step up in the pocket and fire one now for a really good strike.
And he tries to keep the legs churning, but he's going to be stopped behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
It's a gain of 9 yards, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 1.
Oh, I came to my feet on that one. I thought he was getting close to breaking that one big, but in the end, give some credit to the defense, finding a way to get to him and forcing a 3rd down.
On 3rd and short, they'll try option left. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. It's their quarterback. His 9th touchdown of the season. And the Seahawks have taken a first-quarter lead. So they're down in the red zone. They opt to utilize his legs instead of the arm. It works out pretty well.
I like what they were thinking there, because in most situations now, defense is accounting for all the other runners on the field and, of course, for pass plays. But the quarterback position, oftentimes it is unaccounted for. Offense coordinator felt it, dialed it right up.
Inside the red zone, is this something teams should maybe, depending on the quarterback, do more often?
Definitely. You get a quarterback who can actually move it with his legs. That's an extra option and an extra weapon for you. I think they should utilize it more often.
27-yard line.
So now we get set to see Houston for their 2nd drive of the ball game. They had the interception last time. It led to the opening touchdown. So now 7-0 the score as they start 1st and 10. The numbers for him from a week ago, 15 carries, 70 yards.
I can remember the last time we did a game and the coach didn't talk about establishing the run first, but they've lost 2 straight games, so they still want to do that, but they've got to have some contingencies, some other options. Expect them maybe to throw it a little bit to open up things and maybe run it a little bit more later in the game.
And this will go for 5 up to the 33.
He's taken down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Brings up 3rd and
It'll be a nickel look here for the Seahawks on 3rd down. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
Looks like a second empty possession to start the game, and certainly not the way you want to start when you're coming off of a loss last week. Every team talks about starting fast. They're hoping on their next possession, it can be a delayed fast start and get them going.
This is taken at the 23. A 41-yard punt, 9 on the return. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. The drive will begin with a run by Edwards-Helaire. Now he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
Now we've got whistles and movement up front. I think this is against Seattle. Maybe anticipating a blitz, and they jumped.
Yeah, and if we saw it, you know that they saw it. The bad guys might have been coming on that play. Had to pick them up, and they jumped.
A bad false start penalty there. Now 2nd and 6. Play-action fake. They'll look to throw. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. And all the way down to the 33-yard line. Getting it to him in space pays off big time. That winds up going for 31. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30.
Oftentimes now offenses aren't nearly as precise as days gone by. They just tell receivers, find an open patch of grass and let the quarterback find you. And that's exactly what they did on that play. First with the pass through the air, nice chunk of yardage there, and then additional pickup with his legs after the catch.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. And this is caught at the 8. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18.
That certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll make it 2nd and goal.
At the 5-yard line.
They'll run. It's Edwards-Helaire. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
We all know how much running backs love getting the ball down near the goal line. They think they're going to find a way into the end zone. He hasn't had that kind of luck so far. Ends up not getting in on the last 2 carries. You know he's going to be upset about a missed opportunity.
They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. Blanketed coverage by Houston. Makes it 4th down. I don't want to blow it too out of proportion, but maybe circle this play because if they get the stop and hold them to a field goal here, that's a pretty good job. They're already down on the scoreboard. A stop now would be vital for them because it could save them from having to do it multiple times later in the game in order to either get back into it or maybe have a chance to win. That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
Down and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
Now comes a Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Gonna give this time to the tailback. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37.
He's brought down.
Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Brings up 2nd and 9.
On play action, they'll throw. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 45. And his crew will take over at their own 45-yard line. First quarter, and now he already has 2 interceptions.
Yeah, he's got to guard against being tentative from this point forward, though. He's got to still make the right reads, make the proper throws. I've seen guys in this league throw 4 interceptions in a game and win. He's got to understand, put it behind you, keep pressing forward.
And he goes across midfield and down into Houston territory.
He's across midfield.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Now this one to his running back out of the backfield. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down. Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's taken down inside the 30. First down, Seattle on a pickup of 13.
A gain of 13 yards. First down, Seahawks.
10-0 the score after one on EA Sports.
Oilers, nothing.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. He's got his man on the crossing route. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
Well, I think that was good strategy there, trying to go right back to him after the last completion. But this time, the defense was all over him, and they got there to break that one up.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now Edwards-Helaire. And he'll get 4 there, down to about the 12-yard line.
The passing game's been working quite well so far, but the running game's been a little bit of a struggle, and that's a surprise to me. Typically, when you can throw it, you've opened up lanes for your runners.
They'll set up a throw. He'll find his running back, Edwards-Helaire.
They dialed up the screen pass on 3rd down, and for a second, it looked like it was all going to come together, and they had a chance to pick up a first down, but the defense got there and finished it off.
And the 11-year veteran bangs it through. And that'll push the lead up to 13-0.
Oilers, nothing.
No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21.
22-yard line.
Here again comes the captain of this offense, leading his crew back out there now. Interesting stat line right now. Technically, he's completed 4 passes, 2 to his team and then 2 to the wrong team.
It makes you wonder what he's seeing downfield, because he has completed 2 passes to his own team, but the interceptions are troubling. Is he going through the wrong reads, the wrong progressions? Is he getting fooled by defenses? They've got to figure that out over on the sidelines, working on that Surface Pro to see what they see.
Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
21-yard line.
2nd and 11. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Nice job there of utilizing his big target. He didn't overthink it. Understands the catch radius. Understands that he knows how to use his body to keep defenders away from the ball. And puts it right out there for the nice pickup.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. That one sailed a bit, but the catch is still made. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 28. 15 yards on the play, 1st down. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
So it goes as a completed pass, but they lose a full 5 yards. 2nd and 15. And he's got his man on the out route. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Escaping the pressure right. Just what Seattle was hoping for. The coverage holds, and now 4th down.
Well, he certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
Makes the score Seahawks 13. Oilers 3.
So the scoring drive in now a handoff looking right. And a 6-yard gain gets them right around the 43. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Incomplete from the contest.
Well, they came up with points in their first 2 possessions, but it looks like they'll come up empty here on their 3rd drive. The defense finally starting to get locked into them a little bit. Might have to go a little bit deeper into their playbook on their next possession.
Fielded at the 20. 35 yards that time on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. They've got the lead. He's a big reason why. Looking sharp so far.
And as we travel around the league, we see quarterbacks get it done in a variety of ways. But today's NFL does tell us one thing. If that guy doesn't play well, their team's not going to win. And right now he's got his team in the lead.
And now they'll look to extend that lead. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
That's tough to play zone defense when they can just curl up right there in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we talk about finding the soft spot. Defensively, how do you make sure they don't find the soft spot like they did there?
Tough to do, because what they normally will do is run routes that'll pull you out of that spot they want to get into. That's what we call not taking the cheese, right? Don't go for the mousetrap. But it's hard to do because when you see a guy cutting that in that direction, you tend to go towards him.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone. A lot to get to here this final day of September, so let's get started. We'll kick things off with an AFC South matchup. Indianapolis traveling to Jacksonville, and it's the Colts who have the lead in the 2nd quarter. The Colts locked in a tight one, but this is a game you feel they've got to have. Next, we head off to check out another game, and it's the visiting LA Chargers who are out in front. The Chargers seem to be on their way to what would be a good victory. Lastly, let's get you to Charlotte, North Carolina. Check on the Panthers at home at Bank of America Stadium. And they've got the lead in that one over the visiting Atlanta Falcons. The Panthers trying to finish that one off and claim victory. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these 2 teams as we come back for this second half. First down, he'll drop to throw it. And this one caught along the sideline, but they say already out of bounds. Well, the throw didn't give him a chance to turn it upfield, and that brings up 2nd down. Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield.
Well, we knew this guy wasn't especially fleet of foot, but he tried to conjure up some escapability, but there was no way he was getting away on that one.
The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This will be 3rd and forever. They'll look to throw. They'll set up the screen to Edwards-Helaire. A gain of 9, not enough, and it's 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion. What you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
And he's out right at the 25. It's a 47-yard punt, but they did give up 10 on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And now out comes Houston. Their defense got the stop, forced the punt, and now you really start to monitor the clock as they nurse this slim lead. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Firing quickly, but it's incomplete.
No coverage bust by the defense here. They did a nice job accounting for everybody, and that led to an incompletion.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
They have to like what they've done defensively here at the outset of this drive. They forced a couple of incomplete passes, bring up a 3rd and 10. Don't be surprised to bring a little pressure on this snap.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That 3rd down conversion good for 23.
Couldn't just sit on it here, could they? Had to throw the ball on 3rd down. Got the big completion in the pickup. Fresh set of downs now. They've got to feel great.
And defensively a backbreaker. And very little running room there. He did get a couple up to the 49.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory. It's going to be a gain of 6 on the keeper, but it leads to a 3rd down.
Gain of 6 brings up 3rd and 3.
From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And he will have 1st down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. They're able to convert with a gain of 4.
Brandon, this can be so demoralizing for a defense. They've had 2 opportunities to get off the field. They haven't gotten it done. So now your coordinator, he's going to call every blitz that he has, any type of exotic, something that they haven't seen before. And he's also telling the defensive lineman, don't worry about holding people up. Just get in gaps and try and make a big play.
And not only not getting off the field on 2 opportunities, clock continuing to run. And he'll take this one down to about the 40. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. I'm sure that's going to be the formula. Just keep the ball on the ground, keep that clock moving.
And when you have the lead this late in the game, above all, stay in bounds. Yes, take care of the football. Yes, gain yardage, but stay in bounds and let that clock tick.
That was the 8th play of the drive, so a somewhat fitting pickup of 8 yards. He was close to flirting with that sideline, but able to stay in bounds like you know his coach wants him to do and keep that clock moving.
Isn't it funny that we're watching this play when we had that discussion just yesterday about this? What do you do in this scenario? What's your mindset? It appeared to me that he'd totally forgotten that he needed to stay in bounds, and then the last second, oh no, I better get down. And he ended up doing the right thing, but at that point, maybe close to letting it slip away.
From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. Man, this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage back at the 17. They'll lose lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
When coaches stress their defense being physical, they don't just mean the big guys. How about the guys on the outside, the cornerbacks? It's not just their job to patrol the airspace. They can get involved in the run game as well.
Now they try the right side here. And effective running here. He'll take it down inside the 10. A nice job there as he rumbles for 9. And it'll be back to a 3rd and 3.
9 brings up 3rd and 3.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he won't have the touchdown, but he will have the first down as he's tackled at the 2. The 6 yards on the pickup, and it leaves him with a 1st and goal. How about this offensive line? They're really starting to establish themselves, take over this game.
And before the series began, I know exactly what was said in the defensive huddle. Guys, we got to get no less than a 3 and out. Let's get off the field. Instead, they can't find any traction towards doing that. Right now, they're just getting muscled all over the field and getting pushed down it.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. Nothing doing there. They're going to wind up holding him at the 2. We've got a 1-score game with inside of 2 minutes remaining. So it's our home team here in possession of the football as we come back. They've got it 2nd and goal now as they look for that final dagger. And he's able to break out of 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. And whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense with 1:53 left. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal. They'll try to run this one in, and he's in. Touchdown, Houston. A great effort there. With his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And his guys find a way to stretch that lead.
Well, that was absolutely ideal for them, wasn't it? Trying to salt this game away. I think one of my kids just graduated in the amount of time they had the football. That was absolutely impressive.
Everybody wants those salt away the game drives. What makes them successful?
Well, when you're able to mix run-pass, when you're able to control the football and stay ahead of the chains, I'm using every cliche I know, but that's how you get it done because you're not taking negative plays, and that way you're able to run what you want to run when you get a chance to call it.
13. Joey Sly set to kick off.
Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. Fielded near the back of the end zone. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. So all eyes on this Seahawks offense. Down on the scoreboard. And time, a huge factor. They need a touchdown with a 2-point conversion and a field goal in either order as they've got it 1st down. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. Now, they may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a 1st down.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
They'll contain him to just 4, 2nd down. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45.
A 3-yard pickup, and it's 3rd down.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. He's going to let it fly. And that is caught one-handed. Oh, my, he pulled it in. Well, he's been doing this for a lot of years with the arm strength still there. And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet. Okay, game on. Don't go anywhere yet. You got a 1-score game now. Probably going to rely on the onside kick coming up.
Yeah, they have to. It's not a high percentage play, but it's better than not having a chance at all. And that's when you put your leapers and your flyers on one side, get that high hop, and hope that one of the guys can come up with it.
And on the other side, get that hands team ready.
No doubt about it.
All right, now the Seahawks face a big 2-point conversion attempt. back to throw. And he's got it. So the try for two successful. And with it, they're back within a field goal. So still a little work to do here, but they got the much-needed conversion.
So they got that taken care of. Now you would assume onside kick in order to try and get the ball back again, in order to try and kick at least a tying field goal.
Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number as empirical.
1st and 10, and kind of tipping their hand at running the ball. 3 tight ends are out there. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as they get it with 26 seconds to go in the football game. Another running situation on the doorstep as they come up 2nd and 10. And to give this time to the tailback. He gets it forward for 4, maybe 5, but the flags fly. And this one could be coming back. That hold coming from the middle of the line, the center.
And it's difficult for him because sometimes you've got people right over you, and as soon as you snap it, trying to get your hands up and block them, you can be a little bit late getting it done.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. Now the Seahawks forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as they get it with just 19 seconds left on the clock. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's going to come up a few yards short of the first. They get him to the ground at the 37. It'll be a gain of 12, but it will also lead to 4th down.
Gain of 12 yards. Brings up 4th down.
So Houston going to come away here with the victory. And it wasn't really always pretty. They had their bumps and bruises. Really, both sides did. But they did what they needed to do at home to get the win.
Yeah, they really had to grind this one out, didn't they? Because nothing came easy. Every snap was a major league brawl. They had to win at the line of scrimmage, win downfield. They got all those things accomplished. But to win a close one like this, you know, every team wants to be physical. We've heard that a million times, right? But those who are mentally tough, those are the teams that you have to deal with in the playoffs. This was that type of a game.
So for the home team here, it'll be a 500 start as the win gets them back to 2-2. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Buffalo Bills. Meanwhile, for the Seahawks, they also will exit this one at 2-2. And they will be at home next week to take on the New York Giants. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gautin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.